Yo, YouTube squad, what's going on, fellas? Today I got y'all a quick little video, a little guide, I guess you could say, a little beginner's guide, another one of those, right? So obviously you read the title. We're gonna go over characters you can pick up as a beginner, someone who just wants to play the game. Now obviously there's probably two ways you can go about this. You can go about someone who just wants to hit buttons and have fun, and someone who wants to take the game on a technical level, as in actually learn the ins and outs of the game and whatnot. So you can be either one and do pretty well on Tekken, just depending on how you want to play the game. Like, if you're not trying to take it seriously, if you're not trying to compete, then there's definitely characters you can probably play that'll complement that play style. Or you can play a more technical character that'll have to teach you the game properly, so you don't play like, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, obviously disclaimer, if you're a beginner and you're struggling to pick a character, just pick anyone that looks cool. This video is more so to just kind of give you an idea of what you can play on a very surface level. I won't really go in depth because I'm not really familiar with the whole roster, but I've played all the characters a decent amount to where I can kind of understand where you can be at if you were to play them. So let's get right into it, right? So obviously this game's got a ton of characters, so we won't go over like everyone, obviously, but I'll just go over the characters. Let's just say if you're trying to play Tekken 8 and you want to hit buttons for fun, right? Like, you just want to hit buttons, get the highest rank without having to, you know, go too crazy, right? Because, I mean, you still need a lab, Frank. You still do, but if you're not trying to take the game at a competitive level, then a couple characters you can play. First character I would recommend off the get-go is probably Lars. Lars isn't really too hard to learn. He's pretty straightforward. Now, yes, he has 3 stances. I know that sounds a bit debatable, but in this game, it's very stance heavy, 50-50s. Lars genuinely doesn't really have any hard combos to begin with anyways, and his neutral isn't that hard to pick up on, since a lot of the time you're going to be hitting forward 3 to approach people in neutral. And Lars just isn't a hard character to really pick up in the first place, and I myself am a Lars player, so I'm telling you that he is not a hard character to pick up. So I would recommend him if you were to hit buttons. He's also a character you can definitely play as if you also want to win as well. Like, if you want to learn the game on a technical level, you can do that with Lars, but he doesn't really do it as good as some other characters I might mention. So for Lars, I would say he's generally a nice beginner character to play with. So it's a good one. Another beginner character you can play as is Victor. I think Victor is pretty good in this game right now, and not only just strength wise, but he's also just very easy to pick up on as well. Again, combos aren't hard. He has pretty easy stuff. You only need like one wall combo, which is the Oki, the stupid Oki wall combo that puts people in these stupid 50-50 situations. So you can definitely play Victor and definitely have a blast with him as well. That up 1+2 is also a panic tool I can see a lot of people abusing. The back 1+2 because people still think it puts them in heat. Thank God we're not in those days anymore. But yeah, Victor is generally easy to pick up. Like, yeah, he has some decent pokes and whatnot. High combo damage for the most part. Doesn't really do like absurd damage by any means, but he can still hit you pretty hard. Everyone does in this game, so just don't sleep on this man, bro. And yeah, pretty straightforward. Only 2 stances. That's really it. And obviously this game is very stance heavy, so yeah. Another beginner character I would recommend is also Asuka. Asuka is a bit of a weird character because she doesn't play the game the way you would want to. You can still learn her on a technical level, but to be honest with you would probably have to already be a Tekken player to kind of play her. If you're a complete beginner and you want to play Asuka, it's going to be very hard for you to understand how other characters function at a beginner's level, of course. But obviously, as you learn the game, you're not going to struggle to learn that, you know, characters have better generic tools, and Asuka doesn't really have a whole lot of generic tools like that. As her jab doesn't, I think her jab isn't even like +1 or whatever. She's definitely different from like the rest of the cast, so she wouldn't really teach you how to play the game properly, especially with her really chaotic playstyle. But of course, if you're trying to just win, Asuka's another good character to play as a beginner. She can definitely feed you some really easy wins. And on top of that, she's very strong, so there's no reason not to play her. I think we'll go with the Bears. I think the Bears are also another easy characters to pick up as well. A little bit, I would say they're not too complex since their moves are just kind of crazy, and I'm gonna be really blunt with you, no one really knows these matchups, so you're gonna have a really easy time steamrolling people once you obviously this is assuming you know how to play them. This is not me telling you pick up the character and just win. Like, obviously you gotta learn how they play first, and then boom, you can kind of just have fun. So yeah, the Bears are also another easy character to dominate with, so yeah, that would be my picks. So I could have generally went with some other ones like Lydia, could have went with Clive, obviously, right? I honestly probably could have went Jack or something. I probably could have went Azucena, but in my opinion, those are probably the best picks for beginners that just want to hit buttons and have fun in the game. In my opinion, if there's characters I missed out on, obviously feel free to comment. I'm not going to go over every single character. That's like what I said. I'm just going over the characters off the top of my head, and probably the characters I think I would probably go with immediately. So now we're gonna go over the technical characters. They're not gonna be like heavily technical, but just as in like if you want to learn the game, you're gonna have to get to the nitty-gritty with these characters. And I think the first character I'm going to choose is Law, because they made Law a lot easier in this game to play. DSS is just forward now, so he's not really that hard to really play, and it's just one stance. But he has generic tools like a down forward 1. He's got your basic stuff like a safe down forward 2, a reliable low. Like he has all of it. Reliable jab, all that stuff. Like he's a pretty straightforward character to pick up, but obviously not really a character you can win with like by cheesing people. You can cheese with everyone in this game, but with Law it's not as hard as you may think. It definitely requires some fundamentals for sure with Law. And before you're in the comments saying Tekken it doesn't require fundamentals, shut up. So yeah, with Law, I would strongly recommend you play Law if you want to learn the fundamentals of the game and all that stuff, right? And he also teaches you how to mix, do full crouch stuff, because obviously there's characters in this game that have full crouch mix, and Law is pretty much like the full crouch mix dude, you know? So yeah. Next up is Dragunov. I think if you want to learn the game at a technical level, you can also play Dragunov. He's very, very poke heavy. I believe Ulslan actually won EWC with him recently, so this character is still very strong. Not as strong as he was before, but definitely very strong regardless. And his poking is very good still. Really good combo damage. His routes are just really good in general. And of course, he can teach you how to play the game as well. Only one stance. So you're not really going to be playing a casino game with him a lot of the time, unless you're doing the pigeon roll wall mix up. But even then, it still requires you to actually be at the wall, so that doesn't really matter. But in general, Dragunov is a very, very fundamental based character as well. Just as fundamental as Law, if not a little bit more. So yeah, you're going to be poking people a lot with Dragunov, and that's what you're going to be doing with him. And if you want to learn the game with him at a technical level, you want to be good at the game, like, you know, if you want to be good at a higher level, you can definitely play Dragunov. I would recommend Dragunov if you're trying to play the game properly. Another character I'd recommend is probably Paul. I know this is weird to recommend because Paul's not an easy character for like a beginner, but in my opinion, he's also pretty good to understand the game with. He does have the back sway stuff, which can help you learn Korean backdash as a challenge. Again, I know that's not really a beginner thing, but you can properly Korean backdash with him. He'll teach you how to do that, since he has a back sway that you don't want to input when you're trying to Korean backdash. But overall, he definitely teaches you how to space because of the sway, and a lot of his moves just revolve around like poking and pretty much just evading. So you pretty much have to be good with movement, and you pretty much have to have a good understanding of placing your moves, because he's one of those like counter hit characters as well. So he'll definitely teach you how to play the game at a proper level. And with Paul, you'll be doing a lot of damage, a lot of damage, a lot. So I said a lot of damage, but yeah, you'll be learning how to do a ton of damage with with Paul. So yeah, Paul's another good one in my opinion. So I would go with Paul. We'll go Claudio. Claudio's another good character I'd recommend for beginners as well, for people who want to learn a game at a technical level. I know it looks a little crazy that I'm putting Claudio in this category of the video, but the reason I do that is because, again, he may be a casino character with the Starburst, but again, you can definitely poke with him as well. He's not really a beginner character because he doesn't have a generic down forward 1. Instead, you have to use back 3 as a generic down forward 1. But the reason I put him here is because he has a very small move list. And if you're not trying to learn a character with like 100 or 200 moves, which to be realistic, you're gonna have to when you lap against the characters. But you know, if you just want to pick up the game and you don't want to look at the whole move list, Claudio's that character. You can literally just play Claudio. So yeah, if you want to start up your game or something like that, you can play Claudio. Claudio's another good character to do that with. And he's very strong. He's a very strong character. So yeah. And honorable mention, I'll just pick Jin. Jin I wouldn't recommend for beginners per se, but if you're a beginner to Tekken as a fighting game player, I would recommend Jin. I think the execution with Jin is a little bit not there anymore, but you still have to do manual electrics regardless, because that's pretty core to it's not, I wouldn't say it's core to his game, but it opens up more pressure routes for him. So just having to be able to electric with Jin is still very good, but you don't really need electric to really play him like that, especially online. But if you're, again, trying to take him at a technical level, then learning electrics with him would be perfect. So I would recommend Jin, since he's probably, wouldn't say he's a Mishima, but he's a very easy hybrid Mishima per se. Doesn't play like a Mishima at all, because he doesn't rely on it, and his electric doesn't work the same as the other Mishimas in this game. So yeah, Jin's very different, and his tools are also different too. So, well, I mean, all the tools are different, but like he's very different from them. So yeah. But yeah, so honorable, I mean, I wouldn't say honorable mentions, but everyone in the game is pretty much good. I think the honorable mentions I probably should have mentioned was Alyssa. Alyssa's also pretty good as a beginner character as well. Like, she's very good. Pokes, all the stuff that I mentioned, she does all that too. Characters that you want to learn at a technical level, or you can definitely do both with Alyssa, actually, ironically, because of the chainsaw stuff. So you definitely can pick her up for the fun of it, or you can pick her up at a technical level because she's also pretty strong. So yeah, she's a character I literally forgot to mention. So yeah, anyways, that'll do for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this one, let me know if this was educational. Let me know if this is something you agree with. If you don't agree with it, let me know what characters you would replace it with instead. I would love to hear some feedback. I would love to have a chat in the comments. And you know what I'm saying? Every character in this game is pretty viable if you put the time in, right? So yeah, you're just trying to have fun and hit buttons, play who I mentioned. If you're trying to learn the game at a technical level and be really good, you can also play the characters that I mentioned too. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.